Miami Gold è un marchio recente, nato appena 4
Miami Gold is a young brand that was founded just 4 years ago. The shipyard is not focused on large-scale industrial production, but rather on the handcrafted construction of a limited number of boats.
Sinora sono stati prodotti.
So far, only a few models have been built, each of which has undergone a meticulous process of refinement and development. The model we're looking at today is the IS-42 hardtop. She has an overall length of 13 metres, yet she is certified within the Italian under 10-metre recreational boat category. Staying with the technical data, it is worth noting that her maximum beam reaches 4 metres, a dimension more commonly associated with the Maxi rib. The project was developed using computer-aided design and supported by hydrodynamic testing, carried out in a towing tank. The hull features a double-step design. Her lines are distinctly sporty, with a long, slender deckhouse that looks as though it has been shaped in a wind tunnel. The large diameter tubes at the stern skim the water surface and promise enhanced stability both at anchor and underway, reducing roll and heel. This is the first hardtop version ever built, although the model is also available in open configuration or with a stainless steel T-top. The roof structure is practical without being intrusive. Its compact dimensions reduce both windage and overall weight, qualities that improve handling during manoeuvring and navigation. At the stern, the swim platforms extend alongside the outboard engines, creating an even more comfortable bathing area, while also helping the boat achieve the overall length suggested by her name, 42 feet. I would invite you to notice the presence of handrails both forward and aft. They do not disrupt the profile and are extremely important from a safety standpoint. Viewed from above, the bow area reveals a particularly sleek and tapered shape. The hull follows the same philosophy, designed to deliver a comfortable ride even in rougher conditions, maintaining course easily and passing through waves with great smoothness. The air chambers converge toward the bow and meet a solid fiberglass structure that adds considerable strength to this section of the boat. Access to the cabin is through the side deck, much like the sportier American center consoles. The interior layout, with settees running along the sides and a double berth forward, recalls the arrangement typically found on those boats. Perhaps the shipyard intends to export its models to the United States. That would not be surprising, especially considering the chosen brand name, Miami Gold. By joining the two sofas together, an additional double berth can be created. The aft section, like the amidships area, features a walk-around layout that makes movement around the boat particularly easy. Mobility is certainly one of the model's strengths, with exceptionally wide side decks for a boat in this category. As if that were not enough, the builders have recessed the structure beneath the deckhouse to gain a few extra centimetres of passage width. The aft sun pad conceals an electrically operated table. There is also a large locker with electric opening, plus a fully equipped galley module featuring 2 refrigerators. The deckhouse, or perhaps fuselage, would be a more appropriate term given its shape. Blends into a helm station that also carries a distinctly aeronautical style. But should we expect this boat to fly across the water? We'll find out shortly. For now, let's take a closer look at the helm position. There is plenty of space between the high backrest, which can also be used as a seat, and the steering wheel. The controls are entirely touchscreen based. There are no traditional buttons. Everything is managed through these 2 displays. The windshield is minimalistic, with no side protection or deflectors, so perhaps the wind exposure will be excessive. Certainly noticeable, but during summer that is often part of the pleasure. It also enhances the sensation of speed, making it more authentic and engaging. That said, the builder also supplies side enclosure panels that can fully protect the helm area from the elements.
Lasciamo Nisida e ci avventuriamo nel Golfo di Napoli.
We leave Nisida behind and head out into the Gulf of Naples to test the Miami Gold IS-42 hardtop. Power comes from a pair of Honda V8 outboards rated at 350 horsepower each. They have been mounted in the third hull position on the transom, a setup that strikes a balance between a sport-oriented configuration and a more cruising-focused one.
Vedo l'ora di provare questo, che è un nuovo marchio, questo.
I'm eager to try this new brand, this new rib, and this new double-step hull.
Le acque sono piatte, però c'è una brezza piuttosto forte.
The sea is calm, but there is a fairly strong breeze, and although you cannot see it, a low but noticeable wave pattern is present. We're running at 14 knots. The boat is already on plane, with the engines turning 2,550 RPM.
Questo parabrezza con questi montanti mi dà quasi l'idea di essere in una cabina di...
This windshield and its supporting pillars almost make me feel as though I'm sitting in an aircraft cockpit, helping me focus on the course ahead.
È interessante questa visione. La top protegge, ma certo non...
It is an interesting sensation. The hardtop provides protection without restricting lateral visibility. In fact, it almost frames the beautiful scenery around us. At 3,000 RPM, we're cruising at 22 knots, a truly wonderful cruising speed. The hull is fully immersed from bow to stern, so the steps are not yet actively working, but stability is excellent. Directional tracking is equally impressive, and visibility is perfect. Nothing to criticise here. Up to this point, I've kept the trim low, and as speed increases, we're now at 30 knots, I can see the bow settles even deeper into the water. That is actually a positive characteristic because in head seas, it means I can keep the hull fully engaged in the water, improving stability and reducing pitching. Excellent. Today, however, conditions are favourable, so I raise the trim. The bow lifts, the steps begin to work more effectively, and without adding any throttle, I immediately gain 3 knots of speed. Impressive, isn't it? This already gives us a clear idea of how this type of hull operates.
Siamo a 33 nodi, lo proviamo un po' in virata.
We are now at 33 knots. Let's try a turn, a gentle, progressive turn.
Facciamo un'evoluzione completa.
We complete a full circle and tighten the radius further. The tubes keep hill well under control, and naturally, with such a tight turning radius, speed drops to 23 knots. Now I straighten up because I want to go faster. Meanwhile, I cross my own wake. Not bad at all. The hull slices through it cleanly, inspiring a great deal of confidence. Even here, where the waves are slightly larger. We're now at 40 knots. The coastline rushes by and Capri seems to be approaching at an incredible rate. I add a little more throttle and a little more trim. At 40 knots, directional control remains perfect. I do not need to make any steering corrections whatsoever. Fantastic. Now let's see how she behaves in a hard turn. One hand stays on the throttle, we never let go. Remarkable, even at this speed. And now, full throttles. We exit the turn as though we were racing. Extremely quickly. We cross the waves without really feeling them beneath us, leaving them behind in our wake. I keep increasing the trim until it reaches maximum and the engines climb to 6,000 RPM. Then I lower it by a couple of clicks and read the top speed, 46 knots. Miami Gold is a name that immediately brings to mind one of the world's most iconic boating destinations. A place where being on the water is always a pleasure. But I have to tell you the truth. For me, cruising here in the Gulf of Naples is even more beautiful, and doing it aboard this model makes it even better.